We are back here on the 90s podcast. Thank you guys for listening. As I always say, subscribe to the channel. As I always say, go and get my book, Get My Beat at CFP Live on Apple and Amazon. You have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at info@99capitalgroup.com. Send us your questions. Go to the website at www.99capitalgroup.com. Schedule your appointment. As you know, we're here to do what? Educate, empower, engage, and also entertain. Follow us on all social media channels at MLB to CFP or at 99cap on YouTube. So, today we're talking to Matt Jarvis. We're talking about delivering massive value, guys. This is what this episode is about. If you guys don't know him, you're about to learn who he is. This guy is a voice, and I've been waiting for this episode. So you know what? Let's get it. So we got my man, Matt Jarvis, on the call today, delivering massive value. Now, Matt, thank you for joining the 90s podcast. I love what you're doing, my man.
Dude, likewise, Kevin. I'm always like, this is no BS. Like, I'm not trying to just like blow smoke at you because I'm on your show, but I'm always like, I always try to learn from you how you're able to have so much conviction about your beliefs and have this like perspective without ever like throwing in anyone's faces. Like you and I have disagreed on several issues. Yeah. But I always am. I'm just being dead serious here. I'm always in awe because you come and you're like, dude, I think there's this perspective you're not seeing, and I just want you to see it. It's not like, hey, you're an idiot because you don't see it or whatever. It's just like, dude, I think there's this angle you're not seeing, and I just want to make sure you see it. So I appreciate your role model on that, man. I really do.
I appreciate that people listen. Again, I'm not the end all be all. I'm wrong a lot. I admit that all the time.
You would be both, I mean?
And I think people are so easily offended these days that it's so hard to have a real conversation. Like if you say something, the next thing you know, the thread gets 15, 20 deep. You're like, what the hell have I done?
What are we talking about here? Yeah.
You're talking about politics. You're talking about the rain in Washington. You're like, what the hell?
That's right. How did we get over here? Like, I get that I'm an idiot, but I don't know why you felt like you needed to bring it up on this thread, right? Like whatever it is.
Oh man, but Matty, man, you do some great stuff, man. Hey,
thank you.
But just for the record, we started out as enemies, right? Kind of, sort of. Like we were battling back and forth.
Yeah.
We gelled real quick, man, and we've slowly become friends. I love what you and your brother do. You guys are the tallest financial advisors I've ever seen. I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm a short guy around these guys. But meeting you guys, I'm not sure if you're going to future proof, but if not, no big deal. But at the end of the day, man, I love what you guys are doing. I love the fact that your convictions, and I said this to you before, I said, no matter if someone wants to kick you off the stage, if someone doesn't agree with you, if someone doesn't want to invite you back to something, you stand on business, and I respect that.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. Sometimes I'm going to learn from you to be a little more tactful and still, because I feel like we're just patting each other on the back, but I feel like you have this ability to be tactful, but still hold your grounds. So anyway, I love it. We'll just pat each other on the back for the next hour. It'll be a great episode.
No, but today I want to talk to you about something, because a lot of things, especially with in the practice management side of things, you do a really good job of that, man. And you've built this following, you built this group of followers. You wrote an incredible book. I have yet to read it, by the way, and I'm gonna get it. But delivering massive value, what does that actually mean when you say that? Like, what does that mean to you, and what should that mean for advisors like myself?
Yeah, what it means for me. So like early in my career, when we first became an RA in the state of Washington, the state of Washington required at that time that we send a physical letter to every client explaining what our fee was. Couldn't just be on the statement. Couldn't just be on we had to send them a letter, calculating the fee and send it to them. And so in my mind, Kevin, I thought, well, wait a second. If I'm sending a client a reminder every 90 days what I'm charging, I better be delivering value at the same time. Because I'm thinking if I got the bill in the mail and I'm like, why am I paying this guy? So I wanted to make sure I could include something with that. So we started what we called value adds. And that became like my focus of everything. So on the one hand, like delivering massive value is like this aspirational, like a war cry, like, hey, let's deliver massive value. On the other hand, it's like really tangible. I want to make sure clients see what we're doing so that when the things hit the fan, like when their family has an emergency or when there's a bear market or whatever it is, they're like, oh, Kevin has always been our guy. Yeah. And whatever he's telling us is because he's always told us not just because we're calling, because we're worried about the markets.
Yeah. And I pride myself on that myself. Like I literally,
anything that I do, I want it to go over and above. Now, I don't want to be that guy that's always sending my clients something, but I will tell you this. I preach this. My clients are not going to say, I haven't heard from my advisor. I think that's the number one reason, and this is my humble opinion, that people leave their advisors because they don't hear from them. I don't care if you just call them and say, hey, the sky is blue. I'll talk to you later. Some people don't hear from their advisors 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. But when that statement comes around, that year-end statement, $1,500, $2,000 in fees, you're like, what did I just pay for? What am I getting out of this relationship?
I think we forget, and I know you've lived the whole spectrum of quality advice, right? We've talked about it when you were on my podcast. Yeah. We forget how much trust clients put in us. Like, I know that's like a cliche, like our vision is to be trustworthy. Clients have, this is no disrespect, they have no idea what we do. Yeah. They have no idea. They don't know where their money is. They don't know if the numbers on the paper are real. Like this is an enormous amount of trust. So for us to take that much trust and be like, well, Kevin, don't worry. I've got your entire life savings. I'll call you when I feel like it. But you know what? Just don't call me. Actually, I'd rather just hold on to this. Like I always try to be empathetic of that. Like I've given someone my life savings, and Kevin, you talked about on the podcast, like you've experienced giving someone your life savings and then having them steal it. And like every client is afraid that's going to happen to them.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of our advisors feel like, and I talk about the insecurity side of things from our advisor perspective. We want to keep building things into our practice, the processes, all the other stuff. And you call it, and you talk about this. I'm sure you talk about this in your book, but you talk about it on LinkedIn a lot. Like people busy being busy. You know what I mean? Like, what'd you do today? Well, you didn't talk to a single client all week, but you were busy. You had a whole calendar full of just processes and things you were doing in your practice, but you did nothing to build new revenue. Tell me a little bit about like your experience with when you talk to advisors. What's your experience around that with advisors faking the busyness of their actual practice?
Yeah. We call that playing office. I think it's formally known as Parkinson's law, which is an activity will take as much time as is allocated to it. I think a corollary for that is like your garage is always full. It's like no matter how big your garage is, it's always full, right? Yeah. So your day will always be busy. Like you and I have 100 things to get done today, 1,000 things to get done. But to your point, Kevin, if we're not really, really intentional, those 1,000 things will not include calling a client. And I love that you mentioned at the top of this episode, like just get on the phone and call a client. Yeah. That goes so far. And it's really not going to go wrong. Like, Kevin, you and I have had this a long time. You ever called a client and they're like, damn it, Kevin, I don't know why you're calling me. They're always like, dude, it's good to hear from you. Anything I need to be aware of? Like, you want to be prepared for that and have value and not just be like, hey, how's it going today? But you really can't lose with that. But if you're not tracking it, it's not happening. Yeah. Like if you ask me like, hey, Jarvis, how many clients did you talk to this week? I'm like, I don't know, probably 7. And then I look at my calendar. It's like, no, it was literally 2. It wasn't 7. It was 2. I got to fix that.
Yeah. Well, I'm right there with you. So one thing I'm bad at, and I got to get better. I'm constantly talking to clients. I'm smoking a cigar on my patio. Forgive me, but I'm talking to clients, watching CNBC. Hopefully Kramer's not on at the time because I get so mad when I start seeing that guy's face. And then I'm just having these conversations, and I'm like, okay. And then finally the day goes by, and I'm not the advisor that's going to be stuck in admin space. I'm sorry, I'm the worst at it. Then I'm like, oh, I need to go update this. But I just talked to this client about, last week, you know what I mean? So I'm the world's worst at that kind of stuff, but I am actively engaged with clients, building my business, having fruitful conversations, not just playing office. And I think a lot of people in our business play office, but I wanted to mention this. You had a LinkedIn post today. I think it was pretty interesting. There was a girl, I can't remember her name, but she had this,
Cody Sanchez. Yeah.
She said something like people will feel bad about your grind or something like that, to that effect. You know what I mean? How did it go? I
think it was like only lazy people will be offended by your grind or something like that.
Only lazy people will be offended by your grind. So I like what she's saying there, but I think it's more like this. I think that people don't get offended by your grind. People are more offended that the fact that you continue to talk about your grind, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't care what you're doing.
Just get to work. Yeah. I used to CrossFit a lot, and the joke was like, how do you know somebody CrossFits? Because they won't stop telling you, right? Like, it's like, what's the problem with vegans? They won't quit telling you that they're vegan, right? It's like that kind of thing. Yeah. It's like, nobody needs to hear about your grind. Call the clients. No, Kevin, quick sidebar on your calling the clients. You ever tried just doing like a dictation after the call? Like just as soon as the call gets over, be like, hey, it's Kevin. I just talked with Jarvis today. Here's my 3 things. Because I get the admin. Like if I get into CRM, like there goes a couple hours of my time.
Oh my God. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Thank you for that. And you didn't, and you're not even charging me, man. I got to see some money.
The bill's coming. It's coming. Don't worry, man. It's in the mail.
No, well, like that's an idea for sure.
Yeah, you can just have like I use Jump AI, or I used to use there's a million of them. Just get an app on your phone as soon as you get done, hit the button and record it. Because otherwise I get lost on it. Because if I'm ever talking to a client or meeting with a client, ideally I'm promising them something. Like, hey, Kevin, I'm going to get you a copy of this thing, or I'm going to send you the introduction to whatever. And if I get off that call and I forget about it, it's like 10 times worse than not promising anything at all. So if I can just do that real quick.
You get that text a week later. Hey, where are we on this?
I got to follow my sword when that happens. I'm like, dude, I really screwed up. If I promised you something and we didn't do it, I really screwed up. You know, an example that I give a lot of presentations, and if I ever go into PowerPoint or slides or whatever, I will get lost in there for hours. Dude, I'll burn like 3 days building 10 slides. So instead, I literally, with a pen and paper, I draw out my slide decks on a piece of paper, and then I give them to somebody who turns them into a slide deck. Because otherwise, I'm like, should this be 12 font or 13 font? Well, maybe it should be Times Roman. There goes all my time.
Well, I'm going to give you a bit of advice on that, my friend.
Oh, please.
Yeah. So I'm using AI for all that stuff. Like what I do.
Really?
Yeah. So I've been doing I have my own chat engine. I've programmed it to where it thinks like I do. And all I do is I just put what I want, how I want to structure this webinar or all these slides. I take all that information. I input it into Beautiful AI. I'm not sure if you've seen Beautiful AI before.
Oh, is that the one you use? Okay.
Yeah. Beautiful AI. And it creates all of the PowerPoint stuff for you automatically.
Really?
Like 15 minutes. Okay. All the PowerPoint stuff. Now you can go in and change it and add or detract, but I think it's a good starter position that knocks out a maybe 10 or 15 slide deck, and you can add what you want. I think it's pretty powerful.
Man, now our bills are going to cross in the mail, and we're going to see who's got the biggest billing. So, dude,
here's a quick question, because I think this is powerful because, again, delivering massive value.
Yeah.
How do you balance the growth side of your business, like the new client acquisition, with the servicing of existing clients? I am constantly asking for referrals, getting some new referrals, but how do you balance that in regards to like, hey, you know what? I got to service these people, but I have to go get new business as well.
Yeah, you got to count your reps. It's just like we're talking about client calls. So like for me, I got to have 10 prospecting reps every week. Now, I was just at an Alex Hormozy training. That guy's a monster. He's like, you got to have 100 a day. Like, holy smokes. Oh, but that's why he makes 1,000 times more money than I do. Yeah. But I just have to do my 10 reps. So if that's calling 10 centers of influence, if that's going to 10 networking events, if that's creating 10 pieces of content, like ideally the number's higher, but 10's a manageable number. Yeah. If I don't get those done, there's just no week except for surge weeks where I'm just not getting those 10 done. Otherwise, everything grinds to a halt. The pipeline dries up.
I'm going to give you your flowers on that, because I've been using your surge philosophy, and we're going to be doing the surge back in.
Dude, that's
awesome. Like the first part of the year, second part of the year, like it's coming up in September, October. We'll be surging there, and we'll be surging until Thanksgiving, right? So
it's a game changer.
It's a game changer because it opens up all of the other parts of the year to really be like honed in on, okay, this is what we're building. This is how we need to focus to go into those meetings and to basically get new business, versus just doing everything at once and trying to juggle everything and getting lost in the minutia of everything. Because it can definitely happen when you're building a business from scratch.
It will happen. Like it's a guaranteed state. Like that's like the natural state is just busy work. Yeah. And I'm so stoked for you doing Surge. It's an absolute game changer. Of course, if you heard this joke before, I apologize. You know where Surge was invented? Like, the first recorded incident of Surge meetings?
No.
No, this one's gonna Genesis chapter 1 of the Bible. God creates the earth in 7 days. Dude's not messing around. He's like, listen, I could take 7,000 years on this thing. We're gonna do it in 7 days and get it done. So it's not a new concept. Like I didn't come up with it. It's not a new concept. Henry Ford did it with time blocking with the Model T. But even if you start off, you can just say, hey, listen, like Fridays are my prospecting day. I'm not doing anything but prospecting on Fridays, because maybe once a year a client's gonna call on a Friday that has something that has to be done on Friday. Otherwise it can all wait. So it'll be like, Thursday is my day where I do my prospecting. 1 week a month, I don't meet with clients. Like whatever it is, you got to just time block that.
Okay. I think this is what everybody wants to know from you. Again, Matt Jarvis, my man, delivering massive value. What would you change? 'Cause I always ask people this. What would you change? Like, how long have you been in the business? How many years?
22 22, coming up on 22 years. I started in 2003.
Okay, so let's just say it's Matt Jarvis in 2005, 2006. What if you could go back? What would you tell yourself about? No, don't do that. Do this. What would you do differently?
There's no shortcuts.
Okay.
Like we all end up spending more time trying to find a shortcut than just doing the work. And
oh my God. Yes.
You know, some guys maybe can do it. Probably not. Usually it's just like talent disguised as a shortcut, right? Or a shortcut disguised as talent. You spend more. I spent so many years trying to find an easy way to get prospects, and there's not. Like you highlighted at the top of the episode, like you got to do the reps. Whether that's content creation, whether that's networking, whether that's centers of influence, whatever it is, you have to do the reps. Like that's it. That's the only way to get there.
I laugh when everybody, should I go buy leads? I'm like, let me tell you this. If those leads were worth a shit, and I said shit, they would take those leads themselves. And they would go and build their own pipeline and make a shit ton of money. Those leads aren't worth anything. If they were, they would take them themselves. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, or Carson would buy them all, or Edelman would buy them all, or Merrill Lynch would buy them all, which, by the way, some of those services already have contracts with the big guys, and the independents are just getting the table scraps. Like if you ever go through some of those, we're not going to name any names, you go through some of those, there will always be the same firm as the first one suggested because they have a preferred contract. Like it's like when guys are like, oh, I have this hot stock tip. Yeah, right. By the time it got to us, it's not hot anymore. Never buy leads. I wasted so much money. I used to buy like 401k leads. Dude, funny story. So I bought 401k leads early in my career. I'm like, this is going to change my life. I go to meet with the HR director of this company who had gotten pressured into taking my meeting. As soon as I sit down, the owner of the company comes and kicks me out because she had told him that she got pressured into taking this meeting by the lead company. He was pissed off at that. I knew nothing about it. As soon as I sat down, he came. He's like, it's time for you to go. I'm like, I just got here. He's like, I don't care. This is my company. It's time for you to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game. I remember earlier in my career, should we buy some leads? And then you get those leads, fax machine, wrong number. You're like, come on, man. Like I've always thought like, and this is just my, I guess the way my mind works, but I just don't think people are genuinely work that way in regards to like giving people something for really nothing. Like if something was of value, people would hold on to that for dear life. I've always, I truly believe that, and that's why you're delivering massive value. Oh, boom! I love what I just said there. By the way, so again, you've created a strong online presence. You have a voice on LinkedIn. So, what role does content and persona play in building out trust and authority for you? Because again, you have a strong voice, and people listen.
Yeah, so there's a lot to unpack there, man. And I know you spend a lot of time in that space. I guess I would offer one disclaimer that I'm at a different stage in my career than a lot of people. And so I can poke the bear all day long. Like a certain number of people really don't like my stuff, and I'm okay with that, but I'm okay with the consequences of that as well. Because I always want to warn advisors, like, hey, you come out swinging. I'm like, I can afford that. Like I'm sitting in a spot of luxury where, Kevin, if you're like, dude, I don't ever want to talk to you again, it's like, that's fine. I can handle that. Like I would be heartbroken, of course, if it was you, but content has to be really consistent and it has to be really authentic. And so where people go wrong is they think they're posting a lot and they're posting like 1 or 2 times a week, or they're posting garbage. Like, oh, here's our firm's economic commentary. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about this. And then the more specific you can be, the better you're going to be. So a lot of times we index ourselves, like we mentioned Alex Hormozy. Well, Alex Hormozy's audience is business owners in the entire world. Our audience needs to be very, very thin. So we're speaking to that audience. So if I'm like Micah Schlansky, my good friend, his niche is federal employees that are retiring. So all of his content speaks to federal employees. So it's like what federal employees need to know about the new tax act, what federal employees need to know about Roth IRA conversions. Are the rules different for them? No, not really. Like the Roth rules are the same, but we want to know you're talking to me, not just talking to the wind.
I like what you're saying there. You're talking about niching, being very specific to your audience. I like that. That's probably where I kind of go a little bit different. I mean, I do niche a little bit, but then again, I'll say, F these guys, these guys are assholes, but come back here because because I'm a trustworthy guy. I want to be trustworthy. I want to be seen as authentic because, as you know, my story, I don't like the industry the way it is because I just don't trust the industry as it stands. I've walked into the rooms with the JP Morgans of the world and the Schwabs of the world and all these people, and you start looking at them, you're like, I'm starting to see how the money kind of goes around in the system, and everybody's just sharing dollars. You know what I mean? And the finance world's crazy. It's really, really crazy when you start
really crazy.
pulling back the onion a little bit.
Well, look at like Josh
I'll let
Brown.
you go,
Like
friend.
Josh Brown, monster social media presence. Like he started his original blog. In fact, you can go to the Wayback Machine. I recommend people do this.
Yeah.
Like people think of Josh Brown today with Future Proof and all of his stuff. Go in the Wayback Machine and look at his early blog posts or find his old blog, or Michael Kitz's. Like go find Michael Kitz's early posts. Relative today, they were garbage. Like you're like this stuff, and they just kept grinding it out. And like they found their voice and they found their audience, but they just ground and ground and ground and ground.
Do you know the reason why the majority of advisors either fail or get out of the business or just quit what they're doing? It's because they just stop. Like people literally just
So
stop
true.
because like they'll post something, they'll get one person engaged, or they maybe not get anybody engaged for like weeks or months or years. They've been writing this blog. I only have 2 people reading it, and the people that break through are the people that just keep doing it. Over and over again, man. It's going to be garbage for a long time. Like I said, my first year in business as an RIA, I was negative. I was down, right?
How could you not be? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Next year, we're up a little bit. Next year, we're going to be up a lot more. And the following year is going to go up, up, and up. But it's all about the grind, and people quit because you know why? It's the comparison narrative that we have on social media. Everybody's comparing themselves. And I've always said this. I said, there is no competition. I'm not competing against Matt Jarvis. I'm competing with myself, and again, that's just my 2 cents, but I got a couple more questions for you.
Yeah, please go for it.
So at this stage of your career, you've been successful. You've sold your practice. You bought back in the business, all the other stuff you've been doing. You're doing a lot, writing books. How do you define your success? Like what in your current form, how have you defined that success and how you've gotten to this point of your career?
Yeah. So on a daily basis, I try to look and say how much of this day was intentional versus I just did it because this was the day. Like most of us relive the same day over and over and again because that's just the day. Yeah. And so I look and say, all right, am I having this podcast right with you right now because that's what I wanted to do and it getting me closer to my goals, or because it just happened to what else am I going to do today? By the way, it was because it's getting me closer to my goals, but that's how no, for seriously, it is so I'm always looking to say, hey, am I doing this because it's getting me closer to something I'm choosing to do, or am I just doing it because I need something to do today?
Yeah. I got you. So it's intentional. You're doing things with intent.
I try to be intentional. I try to do everything with intent. Yeah. I'm not always successful at that, but it's my goal.
Here's my next question. Like, what is success to you? Like, is it a number? Is it, I got to get my firm or my growth up to X amount a year? Is it, I want to be able to sell a 500, or I'm going to get to $1 billion? Like I talked to Helen about this a couple of days ago. I was like, what are we chasing? Some of us are chasing ghost. I think a lot of us are chasing ghost in regards to hey, ghost. I got to get to 100 million. Why? Who said that? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's more of an income number than it is an actual growth number, in my opinion.
Yeah, boy, we could do a whole episode on that.
And you don't have to. You have to.
No. Yeah, because I'm just I've been thinking about this a lot. People that are like wildly successful, define success however you want. They're either running from some kind of demon or some kind of trauma, or they're neurodivergent, or some combination of both. The trauma probably caused the neurodivergency.
Yeah.
Back in 2017, when I was on the Michael Kitz's podcast for the first time, I had just hit $1 million in gross revenue. And I had thought that was the number. I'm like, if I could get my practice to $1 million. Now, why? I don't know. Somehow I got this number in my mind. Once you get to $1 million gross, you've arrived. And then to be honest, I was lost for a little bit after that. I'm like, I'm here at the top of the mountain and there's nothing here. Right.
Yeah.
And so now it's kind of, I've been dealt this incredibly great hand in life, not just being alive, not just being an American, not just being a guy with a halfway decent functioning brain. I just dealt this incredible hand. I got to play every hand I can, or I'm wasting this opportunity that I have.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to waste the opportunity. We get one shot at it. And so every day, every week, every year, I think, all right, how can I make the most of this hand that I've been dealt?
Okay, but then it's
But
always
but I guess your question, like I don't have a specific number right now. Like I did an 8-figure exit on my practice, which was incredible. It was a number I never thought I would get.
yeah.
Part of me toys with, hey, I'd love to get one of my companies to 9 figures, but that's sort of just a fun thing. Now, dude, it's a lot of like, how do I spend time with people I really like and respect?
Yeah. I appreciate it.
So yeah, no, seriously, it is. And I'm not just trying to blow smoke at you again. Like
Yeah.
there's people that are really trying to make the mark in their world, like your corner of the world, my corner, whatever. They're trying to make their mark. And like, I'm so energized and fascinated by those kinds of people that's where I want to spend all my time.
Well, last question.
Yeah,
and,
please.
and I want you to throw out your plugs and stuff like that. Cause again,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get your book. I need to read it. Cause I hear so much about it. I'm hearing people like,
Pretty good,
oh,
man.
your book's this, it's done this for me, this for my firm. I'm like, man, these guys are talking a lot about this book. I mean, I have to read it, I guess. You know what I mean?
And you're like, I can call this guy anytime I want, but I've never heard his book. Yeah.
So I want one bit of advice
Okay.
to the advisors who may be listening, to the audience. So what would be your takeaway in regards to getting from good to great in regards to a financial advisor's practice? Like what I know again, there's no silver bullets. There's no silver bullets. You mentioned it's just a day-to-day grind, put in the reps. But if you give one piece of advice to advisors listening, what would it be?
Well, actually, we were just debating this the other day. Do what you said, what you're telling clients to do, adjusted for your goals. Because I think when you experience what it's like to take money out of your checking account and put it into a Roth, or making an estimated tax payment, or having to sit down with an attorney and actually see what it's like to make your estate documents, you learn a lot. And suddenly you get a lot more empathy for like, oh, that's why clients never gave me a copy of their tax return, because they've never given it to anybody. In fact, Kevin, I always joke that like, I'm not going to call out your age, right? But you and I are kind of that generation where it's time to start getting like colonoscopies and stuff. And like someone who's got a colon, yeah. So, but you know, like how many people have told you about their colonoscopy versus offered to have you look at their tax return, not counting clients. Like you probably know a dozen people or 2 dozen people like, oh, I had to go get my colonoscopy the other day. You're like, wait a second, you're telling me about this very intimate procedure, and yet we can't talk about our taxes. And so never mind like the societal thing, but that goes back to the trust that clients are putting in us. Like we're asking them to do something they've never done, and they would rather have a shoved up there than give us, than go down that money route.
Man, that is absolutely the truth, because people will tell you some intimate details. You're like, hold on, man.
Well,
I'm just trying to get you on as a client. I'm just trying to get you on as a client. You can't give me your tax returns. You can't even put your stuff in e-money. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Well, hey,
so yeah, do what you said you're going to do. Do what you're telling other people to do, just so you have that experience. Even if you're just buying like the minimum of that mutual fund you're recommending, like, you know, you're going to put $1,000 in, so you can see how it shows up on your statement. You can see the ups and downs and all that stuff.
well, delivering massive value. You've done a lot for these advisors out here. You've done a lot in the industry. I mean, selling your practice, building bigger businesses. Man, it's been an honor to know you, to get to know you, and to walk next to you, because you made me look like a little wimp out there. I was like, good God, this is crazy.
This is my only chance. This is my only chance against former professional athlete Kevin Thompson. Yeah, I make him look like a wimp. Yeah.
So where can listeners find you? Like, where can they go get your book? Give the audience what they came here for, to discover Matt Jarvis.
Yeah, the most fun would be to find me on LinkedIn, Matthew Jarvis, CFP. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find my book, Delivering Massive Value, on Amazon or wherever books are sold. So, but that's usually the easiest way to find me.
Hey, the Perfect RIA. Oh, you want to talk about that? I mean,
yeah, you can check out sorry, I've done that for so long. Check out the Perfect RIA podcast. If you're looking for another podcast, my best friend and I, Micah Shalansky, do that podcast together every week, which we've been doing that for like 8 years now. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, check out the Perfect RIA podcast. Advisors that want more help to get to the next level, we do coaching for advisors. Again, you can check that out, perfectria.com. But mostly follow me on LinkedIn, because that's where we have the real fun.
Hey, it gets fun. It gets mean sometimes. You got to have a strong personality to come on the LinkedIn. Come to the LinkedIn cage, my friend Matt Jarvis. Man, thank you for this, delivering massive value. Love what you're doing. And again, I hope to see you real soon.
Thanks, brother.
We had Matt Jarvis delivering massive value on the podcast today, doing big things, building practices, coaching, writing books, doing his thing, man. I applaud him for it. Hey, if you want to come join this LinkedIn jungle, don't hesitate. We would love to have you, because we have a lot of good conversations on there. Also, he's on the Perfect RIA podcast, so don't forget to go there. But as you know,
Subscribe to the 980s podcast. Go and get my book, MLB to CFP, live on Apple and Amazon. You have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at info@9icapitalgroup.com. Send us your questions. Go to the website at www.9icapitalgroup.com. Schedule your appointment. As you know, we're here to do what? Educate, empower, engage, and also entertain. Follow us on all social media channels at 9iCap or at MLB to CFP. We were just talking to Matt Jarvis, delivering massive value. That's what we're here to do. Thank you guys for listening. Stay humble, stay safe. We'll see you again soon.